I'm in northeastern Ohio, and the owner, Pete Miller, has made me a heck of a deal on a tractor, and he's got some big deer too. You don't have to have a lot of fancy stuff to be a deer farmer, and this is living proof here. So this whole plant is run on nothing but hydraulics, no electricity. Wow.
This is what he's done for, I believe, 41 years.
My goodness. Me?
Yeah.
Let her rip. Entering the war zone.
You've got all the food, all the water, no predators, and all the love that you can get them. It's pretty good compared to the wild.
This program is dedicated to the men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces. May God bless America. Today's Americans are more disconnected with nature than any time in history. This disconnect has led to a society that is unaware of the importance of conservation of our natural resources. Fortunately, there are modern-day heroes who are still in touch with nature, and they work to protect wildlife and wildlife habitat for future generations.
I guess I could have given it some throttle, huh?
Those stories are told here on Keith Warren's Deer and Wildlife Stories. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by the American Deer and Wildlife Alliance, Schrade Knives, New Dart, the North American Deer Farmers Association, DNA Solutions and North American Deer Registry, Record Rack, Whitetails Sales and Service, Bad Boy Mowers and Multi-Terrain Vehicles, New Supercharged Scent Killer by Wildlife Research Center, and the American Deer and Wildlife Alliance Foundation.
Yeah, this is the first Amish deer farm I've ever been on. It's pretty neat.
This one is owned by Pete Miller and his sons. They've got about 35 acres, 36 acres total. They are not here today on camera because of their beliefs. You'll see as we go around here today that they've been able to adapt most of the modern technologies to fit their needs.
I think it's important to show this, that you don't have to have a lot of fancy stuff to be a deer farmer. And this is living proof here. This is ingenuity and love of the land, the love of nature that the Millers have. And while lots of deer farmers they're going for these big non-typical deer, not Pete. Okay, Pete and the Millers, tell them what they're trying to do.
Their dream is to produce that nice, clean, typical rack. They like the width, they like the mass, but they like the clean tines and the nice, clean, typical look.
Well, let's go show them what it's going to look like.
The bigger one of the two is Drifting Eagle. It's Drifter's son. The smaller one is Trudeau. He's a 2-year-old that we brought in, Maxbow's son. The 4-year-old, the biggest one, is Milbo. He is a Maxbow's son out of a Cardinal Charlie Doe Katie. And the other wide rack is Renbow. That's Milbo's son, 2-year-old. This is basically a Kevin Grace system that has been modified to fit their needs.
Okay, so tell me about it. So you've got a scale right here.
Well, this is basically, they don't have the powered augers coming in from the grain bins that you normally would see outside. They put the pre-mixed feed upstairs in the barn, and then they come down when they're ready. They pull this lever. It'll fill based on the weight exactly how much they want.
So this is going to be like almost like a cement mixer, for lack of a better description. Go around and around and around.
And then when it's done mixing, we can open the gate, and they have the holding boxes.
Looky here. It's a nice filling feed, but how in the world do they power that thing? I mean, with no electricity.
That's the biggest difference between this system and most of Kevin's systems. If you'll notice, there's no wires coming in. They run everything off Honda motor.
Huh.
Runs the whole thing.
Well, how cool is that? So what's this, Sam?
Well, what this is an applicator. We use this to apply the promethium, which is a fly control.
Yeah. Really? So the Amish do it this way instead of with the, you know, a lot of times they have the big buggies. So
no Rangers, no four-wheelers. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way with this.
Well, show me how to do it.
Go ahead and get in the pack part of it.
Wait, me?
Yeah. You're gonna have to carry this around.
Okay, I'll carry my weight.
It gets lighter as you go, though, so you'll work faster.
Okay, now what?
We got the throttle over here to control
on
it.
switch.
This is to apply the chemicals right here.
Got you.
The chemical is not harmful.
I'm familiar with it. All it does is kill flies, and the reason for killing the flies is because it takes the stress off the deer, and this is good exercise. All right, let it rip. I guess I could have given it some throttle, huh?
Yeah.
Let her rip.
The flies are more of an annoyance to the deer. It's not that they're harming them in any way, it's just that they pester them all day. With the application of the chemical, usually within an hour or two, those flies will start to disappear. That was a job well done.
All right, well,
What do you
thanks.
think about it?
You know, I like it, and I'm going to tell y'all something. Deer farming is one of those kind of things. It's a unique business. I mean, we were talking about that earlier, and that deer farmers help each other. And how do you learn to deer farm? All you need to do is get a hold of deer farmers, and we'll help you become a deer farmer. That's how. And there's a lot of work, but it's fun. A deer breeder's #1 concern is the health of their animals, and that's not how big they are or anything else. It's the health of the animals. And although the flies really won't hurt them, it kind of stresses them out. And there's a theory that the more stress an animal gets, well, it's like stress on humans. It affects their personality. So they want to keep these animals as little stress as possible. And in the Amish area, the thing that's neat about it is that you look down the lanes and the pens, and there are no ruts where the rangers have gone back and forth or whatever, and the vehicles back and forth, because they're using Ankle Express, which is kind of a cool deal. And so anyway, the primary thing to do is be concerned about the stress of the animal.
Coming up next on Deer and Wildlife Stories.
So this is what Pete does for a real job?
Yep. This is what he's done for, I believe, 41 years.
My goodness. They're the most honest, hard-working, unbelievable people, I mean, and valued. And you ought to see some of the work they do.
We'll be right back.
So this is what Pete does for a real job?
Yep. This is what he's done for, I believe, 41 years.
My goodness. So this whole plant is run on nothing but hydraulics, no electricity?
Power, yes.
Wow. And you ought to see some of the work they do.
Pete is the president of a hardwood flooring company, Shioga Hardwood Flooring here in Middlefield. And Mervyn is running the Marsh Valley Forest Products, which is an interior trim, custom molding facility also here in Middlefield.
Not one bit of electricity.
Not one bit of electricity.
That's cool. That's really cool. How does it make you feel to work with Amish people?
It makes me feel great because I know that they want an honest product for an honest dollar.
They're the most honest, hard-working, unbelievable people, I mean, and valued. And you deal with them no matter what, whether it's furniture or molding or deer. It's valued. It's bottle feeding time. You'll notice these bottles, each one of them has a number on it, and that number corresponds to the number on the deer's ear tag. Also, they have the same nipple. So every time the same fawn drinks out of the same bottle with the same nipple, and Sam and I are going in there, we're entering the war zone. Oh yeah. Come up here by this camera. Come say howdy.
Stay back. Stay back in there.